Berel Kurnitzer was a Tamim and Temchet Mimim, was born and raised in the city of Kurnitz. He was brought to Lubavitch to learn in Temchet Mimim by the Rav in Kurnitz, Rabbi Yaakov Lando. Afterwards, he was one of the Chozrim of the Frierdiker Rebbe. He was from the Rosh Yeshiva in Temchet Mimim in Yekaterinoslav, Kharkov in Ukraine, in Radom in Poland. He was also the Menal Ruchni in the Yeshiva in Otvotsk. In the times of the Frierdiker Rebbe, Berel was once very sick, in a sickness that they didn't see any hope for it in those days. The Frierdiker Rebbe's oldest daughter would bring him every day an orange, which was very rare to find those days. She would bring him an orange because he needed vitamin C. So once when she visited by him, Berel told her that yesterday your father told me a Maimer Chassidus in a dream, meaning the Frierdiker Rebbe, and he still remembers the Maimer. So when she came back home to the Frierdiker Rebbe, she told that to her father, the Frierdiker Rebbe. And the Frierdiker Rebbe was nispal, and he said he remembers the Maimer. A short while after hearing that Maimer in the dream, they checked him out again, the doctors, and they found that his body was completely healed from the sickness. The Berel once visited in Riga, in Latvia, which is a place that the Frierdiker Rebbe stayed for a while. But this was after the Frierdiker Rebbe left already. And he asked Reb Shmuel Gorevich, can we take a walk? They say the Riga is a beautiful city. So Reb Shmuel was wondering, Berel was a Chassidish Yid taking a walk in a beautiful city. Okay, but he asked, so he took him on a walk. After a few minutes of walking, Berel asked Reb Shmuel, can you take me to the house where the Frierdiker Rebbe stayed? So he took him there. And Berel stood in front of the house with Advekos, deep in thought, for 4 hours straight. So that's when Reb Shmuel understood why Berel wanted to take a walk in the city. When the Rogachover stayed in Leningrad, this was in the tough years after the communists took over. So there were Tmimim from Temchet Mimim in the city. And the Rogachover was very much mekar of them, and he will willingly answer all the questions. And one of the Chassidim there was Berel Kurnitzer. He once told his friends, I could ask the Rogachover a shaila that I will not have an answer for. So his friends laughed. The Rogachover cannot find an answer for it. The Rogachover is the grefte goin. So he said, you want to see? Come with me, you'll see. So he went over to the Rogachover and he asked, what's the reason that the Shulchan Aruch starts off with the halachos of Hashkamas HaBoker in the morning? And also the Siddur starts with Shachris of the morning. Isn't it that by Yiddishkeit, the day comes after the night? It says in the Torah, Vayi Erev, Vayi Boker. In the Jewish calendar, the date starts from the night. Why shouldn't the Siddur start from Ma'ariv? And why shouldn't Shulchan Aruch start from the halachas of the night? And actually the Mishnah does go that way. The first Mishnah is about Shema Be'arvis. The Rogachover was silent and he didn't answer anything. And they waited and waited close to a half an hour. And when he didn't answer them, they went back to their place. And Berel's friends turned to him and said, Berel, how did you know that the Rogachover would not have an answer for this? And who told you to ask this question? So Berel answered, I heard this shaila from the Rebbe Rashab in one of the Farbrengens. And the Rebbe Rashab actually gave an answer and he said, since davening is keneged the korbanos, and when it comes to korbanos, the night follows the day. And that's why the Siddur and Shulchan Aruch start from the morning. But then they asked him, well, how did you know that the Rogachover will not know the answer? So he answered them b'pashtus, I was sure that nobody will have an answer to a shaila that the Rebbe asked. The Rebbe will not ask a question that other people have an answer for it. Reb Mendel Furtefas once related and described Reb Berel. He said Reb Berel was a onav be'etzem, was a real true onav. He wasn't like somebody who needed to put himself down and not show off. For him, to speak about his own milas was not gaiva at all. He spoke about his own milas as if it was the simplest thing, as if there was nothing big deal about it. For an example, when Reb Berel was 20 years old, says Reb Mendel Furtefas, I once met him after not seeing him for a few years. And when I tested his knowledge in Gemara, I realized that he knows half of the Shas fluently. And then a few years later, I met him again, and I asked him, no, what do you know today? So he answered that he knows the whole entire Shas, and all Chassidus Sfarim available. And he said it in such a simple way, like somebody who just describing some simple fact in his life. Reb Mendel Futterfass also said, I had a chavrusa for everything. I had a chavrusa for Nigla, I had a chavrusa for Chassidus, and I had a chavrusa for Chassidus shel Eitzanus. My chavrusa for Chassidus shel Eitzanus was older than me, and he was a genius. And I'm referring to Reb Berel Kurnitzer. Reb Mendel also once related in the name of Reb Berel that Reb Berel once said, you have to fight the Yetzer Hara in his own methods. The same methods the Yetzer Hara fights you, use it against him. For example, the Yetzer Hara sees that you want to do a mitzvah, he tells you, do the mitzvah, but let's push it off, do it later. So you know what you should tell the Yetzer Hara? Tell him the same thing. Yetzer Hara, I want to listen to you, but later, I'll listen to you later. Reb Berel Kurnitzer once spent a Rosh Hashanah together with the Rebbe's father, Reb Levi Yitzchak. And they were taking a walk next to the local river. So Reb Berel asks Reb Levi, Rosh Hashanah, there is Aliyah Sa'elamais. The worlds are elevated. Where do we see that? So Reb Levi lifted up his eyebrows and he strongly looked at the river, and then he turned to Berel and he said, the river is flowing today in a different way. It's a different flow. During the Holocaust, Chafei Elul Tafresh Tzadik Tes, the Frierdiker Rebbe left Otvatsk, and Rabbi Yosel Weinberg related that when the Frierdiker Rebbe got into the car, the Frierdiker Rebbe called over Reb Berel, and he gave him coins for tzedakah. The year of Tafshin Aleph, they founded Atem Chet Mimim in the city of Radum in Poland, and the yeshiva was in the Jewish ghetto. They were already under the Nazis. Reb Berel was the mashpia in the yeshiva, and in the summer of Tafshin Beis, or during the year of Tafshin Gimel, it's unclear exactly when, the Nazis caught him. One version says that he was caught while leaving the shul, wrapped with his talis and tefillin. Another version says that he was arrested together with a few of his talmidim in the yeshiva hall. And then later on, he was sent to Auschwitz. He was at that time in his 30s, and he did not have any kids. We'll finish off with a Niggun that Rabbi Chiel the Chazan, which was a Chazan in Lubavitch, would sing on the words מכלכל חיים בחסד on the Yavim Noiraim. Noi מכלכל חיים ay בחסד מחיה מבייסים נוי ברחמים רבים סוימך נויפלים אוי ורויף וחוילים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונו סוי לי שייני יופור מי חומך בעל גבורויס ומי דובו בוי מלוך מלך ממיס ומחיה ומצמיח ישוע